Governments, what do they even do anyways? They pass stupid laws, they take your money, they pay for your roads, your postal service, your healthcare, they run the economy, and they buy tons of funny looking fireworks. Point is, they're ridiculous, and they need to go. But how would you go about doing that? Is it even possible? That's why today, I'm going to be giving you a step-by-step guide on how to overthrow your own government, and how to install yourself as a perpetual dictator of your country. In Minecraft. In Minecraft, of course. Obviously, to become a dictator, you need to take power from an existing government in your territory. But this is easier said than done. This is the Republic of Unimont, and for the sake of this video, I will be overthrowing this nation today. Really, the first step to seizing power ultimately is to wait. Wait for your nation to undergo hard times, economic or political. When people get mad, they want change from the current administration, and this is when you strike. Emerge as a man with a solution to all the nation's problems. Offer them an alternative, and no doubt they will flock to you, no matter how absurd your statements are. If people are desperate, they will believe anything you tell them. When you have a small supporter base, it's now time to choose how you will take power. Really, there's two main ways to seize power from a nation. Number one is via a military coup. Hire yourself a private militia to conquer the territory of a nation, to build your dictatorship in from the ground up, with the goal of eventually taking over the main government. Or there's the second option, and perhaps the easiest of the two: become a politician or military leader, assuming you're in a democratic state, and from here, rally the support of your existing following and extend it outwards. Appeal to newcomers through passionate speeches, and slowly work your way up to the highest leadership role in the country, while consolidating your power in the process. Eventually, you'll be democratically elected, and everything is set to go from here. While the second is much more realistic, I'll be going with the first. Rally your followers and take arms. Maybe pay for some extra helping hands along the way, just to increase your numbers. You know, some people will just do anything for money. Hey random villagers, who wants to join me and my men to overthrow the government of Unimont? I guess I gotta go with the backup plan. Alright, who wants to overthrow the government for some emeralds? Let's go! This is great. Perfect. After rallying a good number of people, pick out your closest advisors. They will become crucial for the future of your party. And now it's time to actually invade. Alright, if you're gonna go this route, I would recommend not striking your nation's capital city first. Instead, capture smaller cities nearby, preferably ones with useful industries, like steelmaking, shipping, or farming. That way you can cut off your capital city from its main supply of goods, economically starving the heart of the nation. That's exactly what I did. Next to Unimont's capital, the Cueva is the seaside city of Puerto Prospero. By conquering it and its massive port, I've essentially cut off the nation from any foreign aid. From here, surround the capital city and begin a siege. That way, when it's weak, you can march in and take it with very little resistance. I've just shut off the city's water supply. Now we surround them to decrease morale and wait for them to surrender or take it by force if they refuse. Here, messenger, go to the city walls and see if they're willing to negotiate. There he goes, and... Okay, well, that's just not cool, man. Okay, cannons! Look at that, lucky me. Now they're willing to negotiate. In any negotiations, be sure to be ruthless. Do not settle for anything less than what you want, by any means necessary. Hello, Mr. President. Your name would be?
President Michael A, sir. Back down at once. We are a democratic nation, and truly democracy will fix all of our problems. If you don't like me, just vote me out in the next election.
I don't really think you have the bargaining power here, buddy.
I knew I shouldn't have cut back on military spending.
Okay, you know what? Abdicate and give me supreme power over the nation, or else your dog gets it. Let's go! And just like that, your insurrection is complete. Time to crown yourself ruler and begin your prosperous reign. And you know what, actually, just because I'm feeling nice today, I'm gonna pardon you for your crimes. Now, leave the nation and never return.
You will not see the end of me.
Obviously, your society will be a little bit in shambles now. While I'm sure many people sympathize with you at this point as you offer an alternative solution to the previous negligent government, it's now your goal to suppress armed uprisings and rebrand the nation to fit your new image. I'll be renaming Unimont, for instance, from whatever this is, to the Eternal Empire of Sierra del Fuego, or just Sierra del for short. A good name change to commemorate a new era in your country's history, always great. Speaking of a new era, it's time to lose your ties to the old one, and that means getting rid of the old regime. I'm just gonna get to the point. I'm asking you to stage elections. You need people, especially outsiders, to view your rule as legitimate. So, pull a North Korea. Rig your elections so that they have the results that you want and so that they keep you in power. Paint your rival parties as enemies of the state and exile them if need be. Then stage fake elections with only your party members running in each district. And... oh, surprise, look at that. Oh wait, let's change that. 100% support from every province. That's fantastic. Okay, now that you've kind of faked your way into being seen as democratically legitimate, now you can really begin to start changing things. I'm sure after this move and after changing the name of the country, some people will still not be sure about you and your reign. And that's why from here on out, you need to do everything in your power to convince the people that you are the only thing they've ever needed. Not your party, but you as an individual. First, build a cult personality around yourself. Write books, put up propaganda posters, build massive statues, and even stage rallies and parades in unloyal cities to project your influence there, and to showcase your glory and all the good you're doing for your nation. Nah, y'all better start clapping right damn now! Might as well stage some TV interviews while you're at it, but don't make it too obvious.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Sierra Del tonight, we welcome our supreme leader as a guest. So, Rex, what makes you the best?
Everything. Actually, you know what? Go one step further. While you're here, you might as well suppress independent media. Seize the truth. Tell people what to think, how to think, and when to think. Everything that airs, radio, TV, newspapers, must be approved by you directly. Next, now that you've cemented your control, build a new economic plan. You know those iron farms and gold farms and normal farms that existed beforehand? Yeah, seize those from private owners and make them property of the state. That way, all the revenue from these farms will now flow directly into your pockets. Yep, that's mine. Okay, yep, that's also mine now. And yeah, that's mine now too. Woohoo! Yeah, too bad, so sad for you guys. You were kind of hoarding the wealth anyway. Go be filthy capitalists elsewhere. Your goal ultimately is to become entirely self-sufficient for the nations around you, especially if they start putting sanctions on your country. Everything you and your people need are within your lands, ideally. And if you don't have something that you think you need, maybe consider annexing portions of land from your neighbors. I'll get more into this in the next step. Finally, and perhaps the most important step to rebuilding your society, start staging public... Yeah, I'm sure you get it. Bruh. Clear a large space in the middle of your capital or in any large city, or you can use a public square that's already easily accessible. And now it's time to show the people what happens when they disobey your regime. If the most powerful empire in human history can do it and get away with it, why can't you? After all, as a wise Florentine man once said, it is better to be feared than to be loved. And you must take that to heart. You must establish yourself as a state, and when you do, you are order, and you become peace. Eventually, if you continue at this rate, everything and everyone will conform to your power. Unless... Just as quickly as you establish control, it can just as easily be taken away. By now, I'm sure other nations surrounding you want you out, especially since your nation no longer relies on their imports, which means they'll most likely try to invade to force their will upon you. During this time, expect everyone, including your closest advisors, to betray you in exchange for money and control from these rival nations. Know that people will not stop until they're at the top, and until they've taken over in the same way you did. So, construct a military bunker for yourself to hide in, just in case. You never know, so better to be safe than sorry. On that note, welcome to the Rexham bunker. Looks pretty nice. I mean, look, I got like little farms over here. I'd recommend just this, the essential resources. Some weapons, some food, some seeds for a small garden, and maybe even some paper so you can write books to plot your revenge in or something. If not, just journal. It's probably gonna be useful. The next, and perhaps more optimistic scenario, is for you to build up your army and to build up your own personal guard. Using all the money you've gained from those collective farms, start funding intense military training, and start building walled fortresses across your empire. For example, I'll be placing them evenly throughout Sierra Del, in somewhat strategic locations, like on the top of mountains or tall hills. From here, I would recommend that you pay your army and your guard well, as after you, they'll become the most powerful players in your nation. Pay them a little less than what they think they're owed, and you're bound for a military coup. Anyways, remember how earlier I said to annex prosperous lands from your neighbors? Yeah, well, now's the time to do that. Once you have your army built up, issue a declaration of war, and march into the surrounding territory of a nearby, weaker nation. If you win this, you'll essentially be on top of the world, as nobody wants to mess with a military superpower. But that's why you have to be careful. Don't start a two-front war. Make sure the nation you're attacking has no allies, is what I'm saying. To start, pick a clear target, and move as fast as you can. Like, for instance, here. Over this hill is the city of Pilajot, the key producer of wheat in our neighboring country of Kasir. If we can quickly surround the city and catch their soldiers off guard, we will be the largest wheat exporter in the world, boosting our economy tenfold. So, let's go. Glory to Sierra Del! Hopefully now, with your newly trained army, instead of a rookie citizens militia like when you first took over your nation, you should actually find it easier to conquer places around the world. I actually have a whole video on how to conquer Minecraft nations, and you can watch that right after this one. Oh, sweet. Looks like they're already surrendered. Bruh. Time for negotiations. Once again, be sure to be ruthless. I want everything. That was surprisingly easy. Phenomenal. Yes, a victory parade for me. Looks like I'm on top of the world. The empire of Sierra Del is secure, my army is huge, and everyone in the nation sees me as some sort of god prophet, thanks to my propaganda. Wait, hold up, what's this?
You've gone too far. Sic semper tyrannis, Rex. Oh crap.
Bro, your aim sucks, and that's Supreme Leader Rex to you. Michaelis. To think I had you pardoned for your crimes against the state. What a fool I was.
You're a tyrant. You don't deserve to rule.
I know no matter what I do to try to convince you of all the good that I've done for this nation, you're gonna keep doing this. So, former President Michaelis, it pains me to say this, but I sentence you to death.
No!
This event serves as a reminder. Make sure your most trusted guards and advisors are around you at all times. But now I have something else to deal with. This guy. For attempting to execute me, the supreme leader, on my own throne, the former leader, Michaelis, is being sentenced to death.
Democracy will prevail, Rex.
I don't think so, man. Looks like now you're prospering. You're in control, and you and your dynasty are set to rule for millennia to come. As glory will be brought forth to Sierra Del, may glory be brought forth to your nation as well.